In this lesson, we're going to talk about making connections and then using the connections to help us to make inferences, to better understand the characters in our stories and the stories that we read. An inference is something that we do when we take details from the text, either in the words of the text or the pictures, and we combine that with what's in our head already. What do we already know about the world around us? And then we are using those two things together to draw a conclusion about what's the author wants us to know about the text. Authors don't always tell their readers everything. They rely on readers to make inferences or draw conclusions to understand everything going on in the story, even if those things are not explicitly said, but we can get them from clues and then using those clues with our schema or what we already know. So here are some steps, and I'm going to model these steps, but I want you to pay close attention. First, I'm going to notice the clues about the characters or the details in the text about the character. I'm specifically going to look at what characters are thinking, what they're saying, what they're doing, or even what's being said about the character. And then I'm going to make connections to what I already know. That's what's in my head or what is in my schema. You can see my little icon here. And I'm going to be thinking about what I know when somebody acts or does or says something the way that a character is doing it. And that will help me to make an inference. I'm going to combine what the text says or the clues in the text with what I already know to make an inference. So watch as I model this in a familiar text. This is 2 pages from the Three Little Pigs, and I'm going to look at this from a different perspective today. I'm going to be reading to make an inference about how the mother feels. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived in a cozy cottage on a hill. They loved to eat all of the delicious food that their mother made them every day. They ate so much that it wasn't long before the 3 little pigs had grown so big that there was no room for them in the cozy cottage anymore. "I am sorry," said their mother one morning, "but it's time you made your own way in the world." So the very next day, the 3 little pigs left home. "Don't forget to watch out for the big bad wolf," called their mother as she waved goodbye. "He'll eat you for supper, so you need to build a big, fine, strong house as quickly as you can to keep him away. "Don't worry, Ma," they oinked. We can look after ourselves." And the 3 little pigs trotted off down the hill, each taking a different path. Okay, so now I'm going to make some inferences. I need to think about, how does Mom feel? Well, just a clue in the picture. I noticed the expression on Mom's face and the fact that she has her hand on the side of her face. And I know that in my head, when I'm nervous, I know I make a face kind of like that. Or when somebody in my family is worried or scared, they make that same face and sometimes even grab their face the way she's doing. I also notice in the words, I notice that Mom is saying things that makes me think she's worried. I don't see in here that it says Mom is worried. It never says that. The author doesn't say that. But when Mom said, "Don't forget to watch out for the big bad wolf," I'm thinking about what I know about moms. And I know moms don't want their children to go out in danger. And I know that she's thinking that wolf is dangerous. And so moms usually are worried when they know their kids are going to be headed out into danger. So I think Mom's worried. And then I also noticed that the children, the 3 little pigs, say, "Don't worry, Ma." And in my head, I know that when somebody tells me, "Don't worry," they're usually telling me that because I am worried. So when I think Mom is worried. So do you see how I took clues from the pictures and the words? I combined it with what I know in my head to come up with inferences. So here's the graphic organizer that you're going to use today in guided reading. And so let's just look at it for a minute. you're going to use words or clues from the text. These can even be from the pictures, the way I looked at the picture. What I already know in my head, that's in my schema, this is not part of the book. This is just what I know about a topic that I just read about, or about an action that I just read a character do. And then I put those together to come up with an inference. I can infer. Let me show you what I mean. So in the text, I heard Mom say, he'll eat you for supper. And I know she's talking about the wolf. And I know that she's a mom, and I know moms would worry if they sent their kids off into danger. So I think when she's saying this, she's showing that she's worried. I also know that the three little pigs said, "Don't worry, Ma." And when people say, I know in my head that when people say don't worry, they're saying that to somebody who's worried. So since the pig said it to Mom, I know Mom is worried. Do you see how I took words from the text? What I already know in my head, nothing that was said in the text, but I know when a mom is sending her child out into danger, she's worried. So I know this mom, this pig mom, must be really worried. So when you go off today and read your guided reading book and read your independent reading books, take these steps. Notice clues about the characters notice clues about the character or details in the text about the character. And then make connections to what you already know in your schema or in your head. And then combine the two, the clues from the text with what you already know, to come up with inferences. Have fun.